Hey, hello, I'm Kråkan, also known as Kråkan, and welcome to YACC, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I'll talk about it. This week's game is Track and Field for the NES. It was published in 1987, developed by Konami and published by Kemco. And also there will be spoilers up ahead, just so you know. But first, a little backstory. This game was requested by Faeriecrypt. I reached out to her on Discord, and she is generally a very nice person, always positive. So I asked her, is there any game you want me to cover for the NES or the PS4? So she chose this game, so that's kind of cool. But I was 100% convinced that I had the power pad. It's like if a rug can be a controller, that's what it is. You step on different points and register and whatnot. So I thought I had it in my closet, but I didn't. So maybe I dreamt it or something that I had it. So as you start up the game, you're greeted to a level select. So if you just push the start button, you just go through 1 to 8 of the events. But if you push the select button, you can select the individual events. This game is a sports game and a button masher, two things that I don't really like. So I can recommend the turbo controller for this because it's a button masher, obviously. But after a while, your thumb and fingers starts to wear out. Most of the events revolve around you pushing the A button as fast as possible. There are 8 events and you start with 1. The first one is 100 meter dash. You just tap the A button and try to qualify with a certain time. It's like, I think it's 14 seconds and you have a couple of tries. I mean, this is one of my favorites. It's just simple, tap the button. The second event is long jump and you have 3 tries. You push the A button and then you push the D-pad to angle yourself, and I don't really know how this mechanic works really. It's I thought I just like push left on the D-pad or up or left, but it gives you like a degree to your jump, if it makes sense, like an angle to it. I haven't figured this out this week, but yeah. So the qualification for going to the next event is jumping further than 2 meters and 50 centimeters. So the next event is 110 meter hurdles, and it's basically you tapping the A button and pushing up on a D-pad to jump when the hurdles come up. So yeah, I mean the qualification for this one is 15 seconds and that's like 15:50 or something. Fourth event is Javelin Throwing. You just tap the A button as fast as you can and you throw a spear like a javelin. And as I said before, I don't really know how the angling mechanics works, and I probably should have looked up a manual about this. You know, and this stage has a little Easter egg. If you angle the javelin almost like straight up, you actually hit a UFO, and I thought it was funny. There are a couple of Easter eggs, which I'll get to later, but yeah, I actually found this out by mistake. So yeah. The fifth event is Skeet Shooting, and it's basically you trying to hit objects that fly across the screen. I couldn't figure this out. Some people that I looked up online says this is really easy, no problem, they aced it. And I was like, I couldn't figure it out. If you tap left on the D-pad, it shoots to the left. If you push right, it fires to the right, and the A and B button fires. So I couldn't even qualify to the next event from this. The sixth event is triple jump, and you tap the A button and then you do the D-pad angling again. Each jump has to have a different trajectory, if that makes sense, like a different angle to them to make the perfect triple jump. And I with the turbo controller, there's no problem. You just tap easy and you just hold the button. But otherwise, I think this event is really hard because, I mean, if you don't know how to play it properly, then it's hard. So the seventh event is archery. So you have 7 arrows and you're supposed to hit like the bullseye of a target. And there's something to do with the wind. At the start, you push up and down on the D-pad to select the direction of the wind, and you're supposed to like hold the buttons like to charge up your shot. And I didn't manage. I thought like I hit the bullseye, but you know, it didn't register as a perfect bullseye, and I was just confused because you see from the top, so you just see the like the character shooting at the target, but you also have like a little window where you see actually where the arrow hits. So in some explanation would have been fine. Like if I had a manual, it probably says like you're supposed to do it like this or something. And the last event is high jump. You tap the A button and you're supposed to angle with the D-pad. So this is one of the events that I couldn't finish. There's something about someone said like online that you're supposed to like angle yourself multiple times in the air and to get like over the bar. But I was like, what? How are you supposed to know this the first time you're playing? I was like, well, I failed and I picked the event so I could practice it, but I never got it down. I was confused because am I too close to the bar, or am I jumping or not tapping fast enough at the A button, or is my angle wrong? I mean, so many things could go wrong and I couldn't figure this out. So gameplay, beat all the sporting events and win the Olympics. Control, the A button generally runs and performs the action by tapping it, and the D-pad basically angles, throws and makes you jump, depending on the event of course. The start button pauses and the select button changes the sporting event at the start screen. Graphics. I actually like the graphics because of the 8-bit nature of it. It's very minimalistic, but you can see what's on the screen, and most of the thing actually makes sense. So, I mean, today you have like top performing graphical games that makes your PC kind of burn, but what they are managing to pull off with this graphic is kind of amazing for the time. Sound and music. Shokichi Ishihara made the music, and it's only a few tracks. So at the startup of the game, I think it's at the beginning of this episode, that's the only track that you have. And the others are just if you manage to clear an event, or if you get a game over, or, you know, more or less like sound bites, so very, very short ones. So the only track that's in this is the Chariots of Fire. Easter eggs, secrets, and glitches. In 100-meter dash, there is and hurdle, there is like a pink, I don't know if it's like a pig or whatever, but if you manage to beat it under a certain criteria, it appears. And the javelin stage has the UFO, as I talked about before. You throw the javelin almost like straight up, and you hit the UFO and it just falls down. Really funny. And in the triple jump event, if you manage to like score there is like also some criteria that I don't really know how, but a spaceman appears with a jetpack for no reason. It's like, what is happening, game? What are you doing? In conclusion, I wrote no. This game is not for me. That's as simple as it is. It's a button masher, and I mean, some of the events I actually like 100-meter dash and the javelin throwing, because those I actually were pretty good at. And it doesn't involve me doing much more than tapping and basically angling the spear throws at the javelin part. But I can't really recommend this game. I remember vaguely playing this at a friend's house, and we played the 100-meter dash and played for a few minutes, failed miserably, and we had a good time, but we went out in the sun and played instead. So yeah. So if I can recommend something, if you want to play this game, use the turbo controller. As I said before, it's like cheating, but you know, just for fun. When you do the long jump, you actually fly so far when you just hold the A button. I don't know. There's something about it. It's no effort. Just hold the button. You don't need to tap it. So I guess that's why they invented the turbo controller for games like this, for people that are lazy like me and don't want to tap. As I said, the negative part is the button tapping, and I couldn't really figure out like how the D-pad angles your shots or jumps, or the angle of the trajectory or whatever. I couldn't figure it out. It's probably really simple. It's probably really simple, but I'm kind of stupid and lazy. I didn't read up or get a manual or whatever. So sorry, Faeriecrypt. But anyway, thanks for listening and or watching, and take care.